did the narcissist in your life rob you of your hopes and your dreams? And just got off the Zoom call and a workshop that we did inside of our Thriver community. And inside there, we're actually setting up our goals and the direction that people are going to be moving forward over the next month. Some stuff that people haven't even done before, of setting up their goals of how they're going to live, of what's going to make them move over the next month to actually do the goals and the dreams that they've actually set aside. The thing is, when you're with a toxic person, they pull you aside. They sideswipe you from the person that you're called to be, from the person that you're meant to be. Like, from getting to the place of understanding, hey, this person is not the person that I want to be able to have in my life. This person is not the person that I thought I fell in love with. The majority of the time, you're with a toxic person, you're with a narcissist, and you think it's the best thing ever. You think this is the person that is supposed to be your soulmate, the best person. But then you start to realize that the original things that you wanted to do, the things that ended up being in your life that you're like, wait a second, like, this is what I wanted to do. This is who I wanted to be. This is what I wanted to believe. Those things you're not able to accomplish anymore. You're not able to actually move forward and develop that version of you. So you need to understand, like, a big piece about being with a toxic person is the fact that they will distract you. They will keep you from every single thing that's happening in your life. They will hold you back, and they will keep you from actually achieving the version of you. Sometimes people come to the table, and I talk to clients on a daily basis that'll be like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, I'm at the place where I don't know what's true. I don't know what to believe. I don't know. And they start to go back and say, like, I just want to be the person that I used to be, the happy version of me, like the person that I used to show up as, all of these things happening. And you're like, wait a second, this is who I wanted to be. The person that you used to be before you got with the toxic person probably no longer exists. That is the hard reality that I want you to understand. But the difference is, as you grow and as you change, a big thing changes inside of you. How we walk people through the process of a healing journey to help you get to the place where you, hey, this is how I can continue to grow. I can continue to change. I can actually break the trauma bond and become the version that I actually want to be. You see, some of you are searching for not the old version, not the version that you used to be, but a new version. Like, inside of you, there is a version of you that stands in confidence and clarity, understanding your purpose and your direction in life. Not the person that originally showed up and the narcissist sidelined and kept you back. Being able to understand, as you continue to move forward in your growth, you develop into another version of you, a version that's healed, that's healthy, that's whole. Some of that right now, you might be thinking, I don't even know how to get to there. I don't even know what's possible. Because a lot of this that happens inside narcissistic abuse gets you to the place that you are so confused, that you no longer understand the current reality of what's happening on a day-to-day basis. One of the things that we talk about inside our Thriver community is actually helping people achieve the version of themselves that they want to be able to achieve. First off, we typically have to take them through a healing journey, through the process of getting to the place where they actually understand what's going on. They actually understand the truth about the situation. You see, typically when you're with a narcissist, you're stuck in the fog, the fear, the obligation, and the guilt of being with that person. You're afraid to actually leave that person. You're afraid that if you leave this person, then they're going to do everything for the next person. You feel like you have an obligation because of everything that you've been through with this other person, rather than everything that they've put you through. Like, understanding, like, this piece that's happening will keep you locked in the fog, will keep you locked in abuse over and over and over again. Okay? This is what people get stuck in. They get stuck in this trauma bond aspect. Trauma bond is built off of hope, potential, cognitive dissonance, intermittent reinforcement. All of these different things are happening inside of here that leave you stuck in a toxic relationship. This is why I'm on the platform. This is why I'm trying to help people understand the toxic, abusive relationships that they've been in, to be able to help you get free, to be able to help you move from the place where you're currently at, riddled with anxiety, frustrated, hurt, scared, no longer know who you are, no longer have confidence in who you are, to be able to unlock that version of you that actually shows up happy, confident, in clarity and certainty of knowing who you are. Like that piece is almost impossible for people to find without some guidance or without some help. Because what we found is if you go no contact, it doesn't break the trauma bond. It helps the abuse, it helps you to actually heal, it helps you move forward, but it doesn't break the trauma bond. We found that if you just move away and you're across the entire planet, it still won't break the trauma bond. We've also discovered people that have come to Raw Motivations that know everything and they start to go back in. They're like, hey, this happened, this happened, this happened. I identify this as gaslighting. This is, all these, they know the terminology, they know everything about narcissism, but they're still stuck. We see this happen time and time and time again of people that are still stuck in the rumination, in the toxic place for such a long period of time because they don't understand the truth of what it is and how to be free. That is what we try to help people understand on a day-to-day basis to be able to break the trauma bond, to be able to go through the healing journey and then turn into a growth mindset. We have some people that are doing that in our Thriver community where they're focused on maximizing who they are now, how they show up in new relationships, how they show up in their job, how they show up in their spirituality, how they show up in their body, and setting up goals so they actually achieve those things. Powerful. Super pumped, super excited because I just got off the call doing our workshop with a bunch of them that were able to get really clear on what they need to do over the next month. That's what I do. That's what I work with people on a day-to-day basis to try to help them break free of the trauma bond and move in the aspect of growth and to develop the other version of themselves, the new version of themselves that they need to unlock, that we need to uncover after all of the shit has been buried on top of you. That's what we're after. 100% stuck 6 years later. Yeah, you're right. I know everything about it, but it's toxic. Yeah. And when you're stuck like this, understand that everything you've done so far, if it hasn't worked, you need to change it up. Okay. Whether that's getting into therapy, whether that's talk to me, whether that's talk to someone else, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You have to realize if you're stuck in a cycle of this happening over and over and over again, you have to break the cycle. You have to change what you're actually doing because otherwise you will stay stuck. And again, it doesn't matter how much you know. I was a people pleaser long before my narcissist came along. So that's something then definitely to work on. Like, what do we need to acknowledge? What do we need to see that needs to change and morph and develop into developing who you actually are? A lot of times, people that are people pleasers are actually very selfish. They're really concerned about what other people think about them. So they serve everybody else so they look better. Not narcissistic, but sometimes very selfish. And so being able to walk through that process of, hey, how do we actually work on changing what you believe? That their opinion matters, that you have to focus on that. I go no contact and he just shows up at my house whenever he wants. So that's the part where, Turk, that's the part where you call the cops. Like that person cannot just have free access to you. Going no contact means no access whatsoever. If they show up on your doorstep, that's when you start following legal action. Then they're stalking.